Hey, it's Travis here again with Worldly Waters. This is our next episode titled 10 Tips for Things Not to Do on a Cruise Ship. So let's get started. Tip number 1, if you are traveling on a cruise with kids, please supervise your kids. Don't let them run around the cruise unsupervised. The cruise ship and all of your thousands of guests that are there with you are there to escape the world and the chaos it brings. Now, if you are cruising with kids and you still want to have some alone time, well, just look into the youth programs that most of the cruises offer. Tip number 2, do not put bottles of liquor in your suitcase. Don't try to sneak it on. They scan every single bag that comes through before they get on the cruise ship, and if they find a bottle of liquor, they're going to confiscate it. And if you put, a $50 bottle of whiskey, you're not going to get it back. Tip number 3, do not sleep in all day every day. Now, if you have an inside cabin, they can get really, really dark because there's no, light coming in from anywhere. So it's easier to sleep in not knowing what time of the day it's going to be. I recommend setting an alarm in that example if you need to be up early, or having a night light like the TV on. A lot of people that do this actually turn their TVs in their cabin to a live webcam feed from a video that's looking over the front of the ship. So actually when you wake up, the first thing you look up and see on your TV is if you're still on sea, if you're at port, if you're docked, whatever it may be. Tip number 4, do not get seasick. We already mentioned the previous episode for the first-time cruisers to bring those Dramamine pills. You don't have to take the pills. They have those little patches you can put behind the ear. There's so many things out there to prevent seasickness. Do not get seasick. If you know there's going to be rocky waters, if you know there's going to be a little bit of bad weather, make sure you eat. Getting seasickness on an empty stomach is probably the worst thing that could happen. Tip number 5, do not pack too much or too little. Now, if you pack too much, you're going to be carrying a lot of extra weight. You're going to have less space in your bag. You have less space in your cabin. If you pack too little, well, you may be wearing the same shirt for 3 days on your ship and get pretty stinky. So make sure you plan ahead. Now, look into actually to see if the ship you're on has theme nights or formal nights. Norwegian Cruise Line, for example, has a theme night, at least one night during every ship cruise there. It's called the White Hot Party. Everybody just wears all white, so if you're going on Norwegian, chances are you need to have an all-white outfit to help enjoy that atmosphere there. So just look into those things, pack ahead, plan ahead, not too much, not too little, but just right. Tip number 6, don't get hammered. Now I know a lot of people go on ships just to have fun and drink, that's fine. If you want to get drunk and you want to have fun and that's the only thing you want to do on the ship, by all means, go at it. However, if you actually care about the ports the ship's going to and you want to have adventures in those ports, well, drinking heavily, the night before, when you have to be up at 7 in the morning the next day and having a hangover, doesn't mix well. So make sure you plan ahead and you don't drink too much the night before you have to wake up really early. Tip number 7, do not hog deck chairs. A chair hog is someone who wakes up at 6 in the morning, goes straight to that deck, throws their towels over 3 or 4 chairs to claim them for the family, and they don't reappear for the next 6 or 7 hours in the day, knowing that those chairs are still going to be claimed when they get back. Don't do it. Don't hog them. Some cruise lines actually are doing something where they do like a timed log, where they'll come up to a chair that has belongings on it but nobody there. They'll write down the time. They'll come back 15, 20, 30 minutes later. If there's still no one present after that time window, your stuff is going to lost and found. That chair's going to be opened up for somebody who actually needs it. Tip number 8, do not treat cruise staff poorly. Now, this is just more of a common courtesy thing. You shouldn't treat anyone poorly ever, but the cruise staff, they are solely there to, make money, and also for you to enjoy your cruise as much as you can. So treat them accordingly. Be nice to them. They're there for you guys. It's as simple as that. Tip number 9, do not forget sunscreen. Now, my wife and I ran into this situation last year. We got off in the port, we applied sunscreen, got in the ocean, got back out of the water, and did not reapply, so we got pretty badly burnt. Every time you get out of the water, always reapply sunscreen, because if you're burnt, especially at the beginning of your cruise like we were, every time you go out in the sun after that, it hurts pretty badly. Now, if you don't need tip number 9, if you just don't burn at all and don't need sunscreen, well, then I hate you, and I'm pale. And finally, tip number 10, do not rack up a high onboard bill. The very last thing you want on the last day of your cruise is to be slipped your bill showing all of the expenses from your entire time on the ship. That's way beyond what you budgeted for. Wi-Fi can get pretty expensive, so just look out for that. Make sure you don't overspend on Wi-Fi. Also, most ships have casinos. We all know that gambling can get addictive. It can get very addictive. If you're having bad luck, step away, get a cocktail, do something else. You don't want to stay there because then things can potentially get really worse and you'll have a bad time when you get off that ship. And there you have it. 10 tips for things not to do on a cruise ship. Now, if you did enjoy the video, click that little thumbs up right there, little like button for us, and also subscribe for all future videos coming out. Now, until next time, enjoy your cruise, keep traveling, you deserve it.